You are now tuned in to VUHSPEAKS, the podcast where we speak about photography and other life situations. So let's get straight to it. All right, so let's get straight into it. What is the goddamn deal? YouTube or Spotify or Apple Music, however you are listening to this, how are you doing? This is the very, very, very first podcast that I am going to be doing here in a new series. If you are new to the VUHSPEAKS page and you have no idea who I am, my name is Volandis. I have a YouTube channel where I do photography videos. I'm also just a photographer from the inner city of Detroit, Michigan. I do a lot of documentary, just, real life, raw kind of photography. I am 100% unapologetically myself, 100% just truthfully and naturally myself on and off the internet. I don't portray to be like this happy-go-lucky, hey guys, how are you doing? Yeah, what's up everybody? Yeah, photography, that type of dude. I just kind of do what I do, kind of lay back, kind of myself, speak on topics that I want to speak on, very outspoken. But that's enough about me. I am just here to finally get this podcast going and kind of just talk to y'all on a new and just like different medium of I guess I would say a different level than like these YouTube videos. At the end of mostly all my YouTube videos, I usually do a kind of talking section, and I've been doing other videos where I just like have conversations with other photographers and stuff like that, with like just about photography in general. And a lot of people were saying like I should make it into a podcast because there's just a little bit of information at the end of these videos, and I talk for a good amount of time, but I have to cut it down to make a video into 15 minutes. I don't want to go past 15 minutes in a video usually, so I usually cut down a lot of the talking parts, but I do talk a lot, so I decided to make the podcast. And hopefully you guys enjoy it. What's cool about this podcast and making this podcast is I have no idea how to do a podcast. I don't know the logistics of doing a podcast. I don't know podcast etiquette. I don't know anything, but it's fun because I can learn that as I go, and pick up things as I go and learn from my mistakes and things of that nature. So if this isn't up to your standards of normal podcast listening, just know it will get better in the future. This is the very first one, and there's going to be a lot more to come. So if also with this being the very first podcast, I do need topics to speak about. I have a few topics that I want to speak about and that I will speak about, but I want to know what you guys want to hear me speak about and kind of touch on, and just kind of dabble into that. Also, these are going to be photography podcasts, but they won't be just just photography. They're going to be whatever I want to speak about, or we might start speaking on photography and then get into a different subject, because that's just how I work. That's how I've always talked to people in real life, and I kind of want this to be just a real life kind of speaking, kind of conversation type of thing. So hopefully you guys don't mind that too much. Also, within my real videos on YouTube, it's going to be kind of a difference because I can fuck up and do as many takes as I want, or if I fuck up saying something, I can just like start it over and cut it in half, and it'll never be like I fucked up. But on this, if I say something wrong, I'm gonna have to just keep going. So hopefully that's not an issue either. So I do that a lot, but we're gonna just roll with the punches. And just like YouTube and photography, the more you do things, the better you get at it, and the more you become knowledgeable about it and all this other stuff. So yeah, man, this is the very, very, very first podcast episode, and we are going to be talking copying within photography, because this is a very like just kind of touchy subject. I feel like it's not that touchy because as artists, we know copying is inherently wrong, and nobody likes being copied off of, or nobody likes things being copied. We usually call that out immediately, and it's always, if somebody copies something, then it's always just like no brainer that that's not gonna slide. So But the reason I came to this topic as it being the first topic is because I was not watching, but I was on Instagram of all things, right? Speaking of Instagram, we'll talk about Instagram a little bit later because we all know that the app is just going downhill. But that's for a different. We might talk about it later today. But anyway, I was on Instagram and I seen a post. I'm not gonna talk about who the post was from, who the people were, or who was involved with this scenario of copying. But this is kind of got like my mind going, and like I kind of wanted to talk about it. But yeah, so copying. There was a post, and there's a group of people who kind of did this photo shoot, and I'm kind of just like a lone photographer. Like all my ideas are my own, all the styling. I just tell people to wear whatever they want to wear. I don't really necessarily set up photo shoots like that. Usually the things that I shoot are very candid. I want people to wear what they wear. No makeup artist is involved with my type of shooting, but I do understand that that's involved within like the beauty type of the beauty side of like photography. There's photographers who like they're beauty photographers. So I do understand that there's like stylists and models and makeup artists and all of the other stuff, the photographer, and all these people make up shoots sometimes, especially for like bigger shoots and campaigns and stuff like that, like Victoria's Secret and shit like that. So I'm not into that, so I wouldn't know nothing about that. Anyway, there's a group of people who did a photo shoot, the stylist, the artist, the model, the photographer, makeup artist, all that. They did a photo shoot, and they did this photo shoot a couple months ago, and there was a headpiece involved within this photo shoot. I don't know, the headpiece is a Middle Eastern headpiece type of thing. It's kind of like shiny. It like some beads hang down from like all around it and stuff like that. I can't really explain the headpiece. If you're watching it on YouTube, I put the headpiece thing in the video, so you like right now while I'm talking, so you can see what it is. But yeah, if you can't imagine it, just imagine a headpiece that's kind of just like very designer-ish and just cultural to Middle Eastern people. Anyway, I don't even know. I don't want to say that it's just like their headpiece. I don't know where it comes from. Don't, at the end of the day, just, it's a headpiece. All right. Don't get the going on me and all that. Anyway, headpiece was involved. There was like a little dress, and they shot it in like this abandoned building, and it was a good photo shoot. The photos were good, and yeah, they were very good photos. It seemed like the people who worked on it was very happy and very proud of what they worked on and what they did, as people are when they work on things that mean something to them. Anyway, fast forward to, I guess, a week ago, somebody, also not going to say their name, did a similar photo shoot. In my opinion, I don't think it was that similar. The person who shot it a week later or whatever, I'll get into how it went down in a minute, but the person who shot it a week later also used a headpiece and a girl, and they were also wearing a dress. They just wasn't in an abandoned building. It was more, they were in a field, an open field, and stuff like that. So yeah, so they posted it, and then turns out they were like, the people who originally did the photo shoot, the first photo shoot, the group of people, they were like, oh, this person's copying us. Like, they also went out, got the same headpiece, put the girl in the same dress. Like, it's very similar and this and that. And like, they kind of put the photo side by side. And then like, they had a bunch of stuff to say about the person who quote unquote copied them. And, yeah, kind of just like ran off with the sauce. And they had all these opinions, and you know what I'm saying? It's inherent. Like, if you see that and somebody's like, oh, look, they copied us, you're going to be like, yeah, that's fucked up. Why would you copy someone's idea, especially if they put a lot of time and effort into these ideas and, you know, did like hard work putting this out there, and, you know, they're proud of it. So if somebody copies something that you're proud of, no matter who you are, no matter, you can say whatever you want. As an artist, if somebody copies you, you're going to be a little bit kind of irritated. I do think it was, from what I seen. Okay, so the person who quote unquote copied their style, they posted a bunch of things saying that like, oh, I did this months ago. They bought the headpiece months ago. They talked to the model months ago. They even shot a video, and they proved that they shot a video for it. Just everything happened months ago before these people even, posted these photos. And it was kind of like, and then that's what got me thinking, because if that person didn't have all these receipts that they had been did this, you would assume that they were copying someone else's style. Now I get it, copying. I've been mad at people for copying me, and you know what I'm saying. It's just not something that sits right with people, and especially these people were very passionate about, like, they didn't even delete, like, even after that person showed them that, like, oh, I did this before you guys, I just never put it out. They were still just like, nah, I don't give a fuck, whatever, blah blah blah, like, we did it first, we posted it first, whatever you say, whatever. And I understand that, and I don't blame anybody for being upset, because I've been there. I've been in a situation where I felt like I was being like someone was copying my work. And what's worse about it is that the person who quote unquote copied got more recognition for the shoot. And I know that hurts, because one time I did a shoot and somebody did the same exact shoot, like literally same exact shoot, and they got a lot more recognition for it than I did. But the thing is, the person who I guess copied the shoot that I did, I don't even want to say copy, but they said that the shoot was inspired by me. So do you really call that copying? I don't really care. This is a thing we all have to learn as artists and photographers. No matter what you do, nothing is original. No matter how much you want to believe you were the first to start something, photography in itself isn't an original idea. Everything that you can probably think of shooting, somebody has probably already did it, either dead or alive. You will never be the first person to do something. No matter how much you want to believe that you are, somebody has already done it. I can't be mad if somebody shoots photos of niggas with guns, like I'm the only nigga who come from a situation where people are around them have guns. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be mad at that. Like, oh yeah, now every nigga who take pictures of guns is a copier, and everybody who shoots pictures of niggas with guns copy me and this and that and blah 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 and all this other shit. I do think people do copy certain people. So even though the idea may not be original, like I'm not the first nigga to shoot guns, but if somebody, like, I did an original kind of concept and a kind of a project, and somebody copied that project, then that's copying. And it's like kind of to a point where, because like it's hard, because how do you do something that's already been done but like make it your own? And that's where a lot of photographers, and that's where a lot of artists in general kind of just like, that's what they put their time into. And that's what I put my time into, because I know I'm not the first nigga to shoot pictures with guns. I know I won't be the last person to shoot a picture of a nigga with guns, but how do I make this my own? And is it the editing? Is it the way I shoot it? What lenses I shoot with? How I position people? How I, you know what I'm saying? There's things that make people stand out. That's why we can watch 1,000 videos about people who play video games, but we watch Ninja because he brings this to the community, or we watch this person because they bring that to the community. And it's the same within photography. A lot of people can shoot the same exact thing, but why do I care about this person's pictures more than I care about this person's pictures when they shoot the same exact thing? But I think a lot of artists need to get it out of their head that they own certain ideas, because they were very mad at this person for, copying their idea and what they felt like they owned. But at the end of the day, if you look it up, they're not the first people to shoot someone in this type of headpiece. This is a traditional headpiece to a certain culture, and people wear it. Like they actually wear this headpiece, and I'm sure there's photographs of people way before this that, you know what I'm saying, of people wearing this headpiece, and they're doing the same exact thing. They might even be in the same exact place. The thing is, photography is so just like, it's such a saturated field, and it'll never be, and it's always been. There's people who are photographers who don't tell people that they are photographers. There's people who are photographers who tell everybody that they're a photographer. There's photos we're never going to see. There's photos we've seen a million times. So at the end of the day, if you think you have an original idea about something. It may be your original idea, but it's probably been done before. And that's what I always try to tell. Like, sometimes people be like, oh, I didn't copy, or because I've been there in the past, where I'm gonna be fully transparent in this podcast too. Like, all these podcast episodes, I'm gonna be fully transparent because I have nothing to kind of hide, and I am who I am, and I don't really give a fuck. But anyway, in the past, I've definitely been like, oh yeah, this nigga copied me, this and that. And they be like, okay, you're not the first person to do this. And I'm like, okay, but you copied it from me, is what I'm saying. Like, I might not be the first person to do it, but you copied it from me, if that makes sense. Because everybody got to get inspiration from somewhere. And I used to be upset about it. I used to be like salty, like, oh, niggas copying me, niggas copying the way I edit, niggas copy this, niggas copy that. And it's frustrating when you yourself are trying to make a name for yourself for certain things that you do and certain things that you value within your art, and somebody takes it and they run with it and they kind of claim it as theirs. That's the most frustrating part within kind of just like doing anything creative. And I think that's why a lot of people, like, you know how that feels to have somebody like just take, like, literally just take what you did and they get recognition from it. Because there's people out there who don't know who you are. They're just going to see this idea through this person, and if they don't know who you are, you the one who copied it from them. And it's, if you don't have the timestamps and the receipts, then it's kind of hard to prove who did it first. But that's where you just get in, like, that territory is just like it's just like not productive at all. I do just like encourage everybody. I want to encourage everybody to be themselves and do what they want to do. I always say, just do what you want to do, shoot what you want to shoot. And you know what I'm saying? Like, we're all inspired by people and stuff like that. Like, a lot of people was like, oh, when I first started doing photography, they'd be like, oh, you remind me of Estevan Oriol or Boogie Photographer. And the thing is, before people started comparing me to those people, I had no idea who Estevan Oriol was or Boogie. And it's kind of fucked up because I guess I should do my research on photographers before me. And that'll be another, I guess, conversation later about people doing research on photography. I do think that it's not that important. Like, a lot of people think like, oh, you need to look up the people who came before you and all this other stuff. But if someone chooses to not do that, then who cares at the end of the day? You know what I'm saying? When I first started photography, I didn't know nothing about photography, the photography world. I didn't know it was this full community of photographers. I didn't know it was a bunch of photographers that came before me that wasn't white people shooting Nikons. You know what I'm saying? That's what I thought a photographer was. I thought photographers was National Geographic photographers, and that's it. And I didn't have the means to do research before that, nor did I care at the end of the day. I'm gonna keep it honest with you. I didn't care. I just wanted to take photos of what I wanted to take photos of, and I wanted to move on. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't even trying to gain recognition on the internet. I just wanted to take photos of the things I wanted to take photos of at the end of the day. But anyway, I didn't know about these photographers until after I was already doing what I was doing. And to some people, they could be like, oh, you're copying them. But the thing is, a lot of my your photos could remind people of other photographers, and that's okay. Like, this reminds me of a style by this person, but it's not. It just reminds me of it. It's not saying you copied it. It's not saying that, oh, you took this person's sauce and you ran with it. If your work, because like I said, nothing is original. When I first started doing the photography I was doing, I was the only nigga that I saw doing the photography I was doing. I was like, oh, I'm one of a kind. I do this. I'm the only nigga doing this. Don't nobody else on Instagram, on the internet do this. That's what I thought, until niggas start hitting me with the, oh, nah, nigga, Estevan been doing this, nigga, for years. Boogie, he's been doing this for years and shit like that. And I started looking up these photographers. I'm like, damn, I thought I was the first one to be doing some shit like this. You know what I'm saying? So even if you think your ideas are original and you think what you're doing, even if what you are doing is genuine and it's from you and it's your own original thought, I think people just need to realize that it's not original at the end of the day. It's just not. So yeah, these people who accused this other person of stealing, they were very mad because they were like, oh, they also like she whitewashed it, like the original people they used. I don't know if the girl they used was Middle Eastern or if she was black or I mean, I guess you could be Middle Eastern and black though, right? Whatever. Anyway, not whatever. That's rude. That's fucked up. It's not fucked up. I'm thinking too much about it. Y'all know I'm not trying to be, you know, disrespectful. Anyway, the original people were black, Arabic, whatever, Middle Eastern, and the girl who did it is also a Middle Eastern girl, but she's white passing. And then I don't know, the model that she shot with was white, I'm assuming. So they were like, oh, we did this, and she whitewashed it and all that other stuff. And to be honest, I can kind of understand how they feel, because to have something, like I said earlier, to have something that's like an original, something that you worked so hard on and you feel like is an original idea, then somebody comes along and they do it and they get more recognition for it, that's going to be the most that's one of the most annoying things as an artist, because you feel like, because bigger artists steal from little artists all the time, especially little artists that can't really, they don't have a voice and they can't really be like, oh yeah, this person stole from me, and nobody's listening, you know what I'm saying? Whereas bigger artists, it happens in music where, I mean, shit, I'm sure Drake has stolen shit. I mean, it's proven that Drake has stolen like shit from little artists. I mean, other artists, other big music artists steal shit from smaller artists that'll never see the light of day and shit like that. So I can understand how that's frustrating. I'm a bigger artist, but like there's artists bigger than me who can steal or take my ideas and, you know, have more success with it. So that would be super frustrating. Or I could be the person to steal someone's idea and have more success with it. That would be super annoying. That would be, nobody in the photography community would really stand for that. That's fucked up, and we can all agree that it's fucked up and we don't like it. So anyway, yeah, this person got more recognition from their shoot, and they felt like, the original people felt like their shoot was better, for one, and just all in all theirs. So I can kind of understand where they're coming from too, especially being a black woman. Black women are the most disrespected people in the world, because one, they're black, and two, they're women. So, and they're just tired and done and just over it. And I can understand, even though I don't agree with them in this situation, but I can understand like how they feel and where they're coming from, and just like the frustration they probably have to see someone who's white passing and just like gain so much from something that they felt like was theirs. And yeah, I understand, I get it. There's just certain things you can do, in my opinion, to go around. Like if I felt like someone was genuinely stealing from me, or a shoot I did and they stole it from me, I would personally message that person and be like, yo, look, I feel like I did this first. You stole it. It was my original idea. I worked very hard on it, and I feel like you stole it, and I feel like that's fucked up. And then they could have had that conversation in private, and she could have been like, look, no, I bought this shit months ago. I did a video on this months ago, before I even knew you guys were doing it. You know what I'm saying? And they could have had that conversation, and she could be like, oh, fuck, my bad. Like, it just seemed like it. And then, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to be wrong, and it's hard to be vulnerable, especially with people you don't really know. But I don't really care. If it's me, bro, like I'm a very emotional person. I'm very sensitive. I'm a gangster, but I'm sensitive, bro. Like I don't, like shit be pissing me off. Like, you know, y'all be seeing me, I be responding to people. Like people be like, oh, this shit suck, blah, blah, blah. I be like, nigga, shut up. Like you suck, or this or that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like and it's too like a fault, you know what I'm saying? Because like where I come from, first of all, I've never been the one to just like, if somebody say some shit to you and it's disrespectful, or because the internet shit is new. Like it's not new, but like all this shit where like people just say whatever they want to people on the internet, that's new for me, at least. Over the last couple of years, I've been having to get used to that, because if somebody says something that you didn't like where I'm from, then you just squabble it out, or you check a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like niggas would never say something to you without it being any type of repercussion. Whereas on the internet, anybody in the world can say whatever they want to you without knowing you, without, you know what I'm saying, ever having a conversation with you. People judge you. People have all these like misconceptions about who you are as a person and all this other shit just from what they see on the internet. And nobody puts their entire life on the internet. Niggas don't know everything about me on the internet, but I'm pretty sure there's niggas out there who think they know me down to a T just because of what I post on the internet and the things that I say on the internet. And that's the issue. And like a lot of people are, and not me, like I don't care. I feel like if somebody say something, everybody be like, oh, ignore them, blah blah blah. But like I feel like if somebody has the right to say something to you, you shouldn't be the bigger person. Because I got more followers, I have to be held to a higher standard. Is followers what, like it's having followers what holds people to this standard of not responding to people. You're the better person because you have more followers and this person's miserable. Don't get me wrong, niggas do be miserable. 100% them niggas is miserable. And I'll be the first to tell niggas they miserable. You know what I'm saying? I have no, like, I'm not going to lose sleep over that. Niggas be thinking that you really mad, like actually mad, like fuming. Like, no, I'm just responding to niggas just like how niggas responding to me. You know what I'm saying? If niggas say something to me, I'm going to say something back. That's all it is to it. I don't lose sleep. I'm not sitting over here angry. I'm not mad. I'm just sitting, bro. I just respond. That's just how it is where I'm from. Bro. And the thing is, gotta ignore 100 niggas a day. I can respond to at least one of these fucking idiots. You know what I'm saying? And that's all it is. Just responding to an idiot at the end of the day. Like, we need to normalize people with bigger followings clapping back at these idiots. You know what I'm saying? Because some of these motherfuckers they be on a, man, they like, people, I'm telling you, they feel like they can say whatever they want to people on the internet. And I've said some shit to people on the internet that I don't know, like Tommy Lauren and Donald Trump, you know what I'm saying? But they just spew hatred, so fuck them. But the thing is, people just like try to, especially when people just like try to post their art or like post their, you know what I'm saying, views on something, then somebody come through like, hey, like, you know what I'm saying? People think they know you and everything you stand for, and it's just annoying. So yeah, but anyway, a lot of people, where I'm trying to go with all that, like I said, I get off topic a lot and start talking, but where I'm trying to go with this is a lot of people would never have that conversation of somebody that they think stole their work, because it's easier to just be like, oh, fuck that nigga, fuck this. They you know what I'm saying, just go off on somebody, because nobody wants to look like an idiot. Nobody wants to be wrong. Nobody wants to you know what I'm saying, not be right. So but the thing is, I feel like as an adult, the older I get, I'm 26 years old, and the older that I get, I start to notice and I start to really realize that having conversations with people, as hard as it may be, as much as you might not want to do it, will be the easiest and would resolve a lot of things at the end of the day. There's a lot of people I never wanted to have conversations with, and I have anxiety about having conversations with people I don't know. And just like, I don't run from conflict, but I'm not a very, like, I don't handle conflict, but like I'll ignore it before I just, like, you know what I'm saying, really be like I got beef with my friends right now and I just won't even talk to them because I just don't even want to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm that type of person, but I'm learning that the more you just deal with it, the easier it's going to be for everybody that's involved. That situation never even had to hit the internet, and everybody, I wouldn't even be talking about this situation if they would have had that conversation in private. And, you know, it's unfortunate, and, you know, it's probably love lost. I don't know, like, from what I read and the after effect of everything, it just seemed like it still never got resolved, even. And that's because it hit the internet. So now you're giving all these other people who aren't even involved with this situation a chance to start speaking their opinions and saying whose side they're on. And like me, like, I'm picking sides and shit like that, where it's not even my situation to be picking sides, you know what I'm saying? But this is the internet, and that's what people do on the internet. It's unfortunate and it's a stupid situation, but it definitely gave me something to talk about, as selfish as that sounds. But yeah, copying, definitely 100% always bad and never the right thing to do, no matter what you do. Music, photography. My camera stopped recording at 30 minutes. The full podcast, I continued recording audio, even though the camera wasn't recording. I didn't know the camera wasn't recording. But anyway, I finished recording like 15 more minutes of audio. To be completely honest, I was just rambling about me as a person, very self-centered, not for real, but I was just talking about some things that's going to be going on, like with the podcast and stuff like that. But if you want to listen to the full podcast, the last 15 minutes of the podcast, it will be on Apple Music and Spotify, I hope. Whatever is on, I'm going to link it down in the description below. So if you want to finish listening to the rest of that, it will be down there. Clearly, I mean, of course, we got technical difficulties on the very first episode, but I do hope you guys forgive me. I hope you guys understand. And, as time goes on, we will. I mentioned this in the rest of the audio, but I mentioned as time goes on, we will, like the podcast will be clearly more polished. This is the very first one. So we got a few kinks to work out. We got a few things to do and things to work on. So we're going to make it happen. But anyway, I appreciate you guys for, tuning in and watching it and listening to me ramble on for this long. And hopefully in the future that won't happen again. Actually, in the future, it won't happen again. Not even hopefully. And if we do, we'll just, we'll do something about it. But anyway, with that being said, that's going to wrap up this video, this podcast, this whole thing. If you are not subscribed to this channel, please do me a favor and subscribe to this channel. If you are not subscribed to the Volandis channel, subscribe to the Volandis channel for me. You know what I'm saying? But in the other audio, I mentioned that like on the other channel, we say, let's go do some shit. But on the podcast, we probably going to say, let's get it, or let's get it done and all that. So anyway, with all that being said, let's get it, or let's go get it done, whichever one you prefer. But appreciate y'all tuning in. Subscribe, ring the bell so you get notified every single time I drop new podcast, new video podcast, and all that. So sound kind of sexy talking through this mic too. When I whisper, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, I'm gonna holler at y'all. You know what I'm saying. All right.